Good evening, everyone. Today I stand before you to talk about a woman who transformed pain into power, rejection into strength, and dreams into destiny. Oprah Winfrey. She is not just a television icon or a billionaire philanthropist. She is the living embodiment of how faith, hard work, and self-belief can change a life, and through that life, change the world. Oprah Winfrey's story begins in the small town of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and born into poverty, raised by a single teenage mother and surrounded by struggle. As a child, she faced abuse, loneliness, and the weight of the world before she even turned 10. But inside her heart burned something that could not be silenced. A voice. A voice that believed she was meant for something greater. While many might have surrendered to despair, Oprah used her pain as her teacher. She often says, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." And that's exactly what she did. She realized early in life that her story was not meant to break her. It was meant to build her. When she got her first job in media, she was told she wasn't fit for television. Her appearance, her voice, her emotions, everything was criticized. But Oprah didn't quit. She turned every rejection into redirection. Instead of fitting into someone else's mold, she created her own. She didn't just change television. She changed the very way we look at human stories. Through the Oprah Winfrey Show, she became the voice of millions. Her platform wasn't about gossip or fame. It was about healing. It was about connection, empathy, and truth. She gave a microphone to those who had been silenced, a spotlight to those who had been ignored, and hope to those who had been forgotten. Her interviews became moments of humanity, moments where people felt seen, heard, and understood. Whether she was speaking to a global leader or an everyday person, Oprah made them feel the same, valued and respected. But what truly sets Oprah apart is not her success, it's her spirit. She built an empire, yes, but more than that, she built a legacy of giving. Through the Oprah Winfrey Foundation, she has funded schools, scholarships, and countless programs aimed at empowering women and children across the world. Her Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa stands as a testament to her belief that education is the key to unlocking destiny. And yet, despite her immense power and fame, she never lost her humility. Oprah still reminds us that the greatest journey we can ever take is the journey within. She once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." She teaches us that success is not about money. It's about purpose. It's about using your platform, however small or large, to serve others, to lift people up instead of stepping over them. Oprah's life is proof that no matter where you come from, you can rise. You can create your own destiny, even when the world tells you no. Because every no you face is just another step toward your ultimate yes. She reminds us that gratitude is power. That even when life is unfair, you still have the choice to believe, to move forward, to shine. When Oprah stood on the Golden Globe stage in 2018, she delivered one of the most powerful speeches of our time, speaking about truth, justice, and hope for a new generation. In that moment, she wasn't just a celebrity, she was a symbol. A symbol that when a woman finds her voice, she can move mountains. So what can we learn from Oprah Winfrey? We learn that strength is born in struggle. We learn that kindness is not weakness. We learn that your story, no matter how painful, can be your greatest power. To every person listening to this, your background does not define your future. Your scars are not your shame. Like Oprah, you can rise from the ashes of hardship and become the fire that lights the world. She once said, "You become what you believe, and if you truly believe you are capable of greatness, then greatness will follow you." So today, as we reflect on Oprah Winfrey's journey, from a poor girl in Mississippi to one of the most influential women on earth, let her story remind you that it's not about where you start. It's about how you finish. Each of us has a voice. Each of us has a dream, and somewhere out there, someone needs to hear your story. Someone needs your courage. Someone needs your light. Let Oprah's life inspire us to rise higher, dream bigger, and love deeper. Because when we live with purpose, when we choose compassion, and when we never give up, We too can become unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen. Every generation has a light, a soul that rises from darkness and reminds the world that no struggle can silence purpose. For our time, that light is Oprah Winfrey. Born in rural Mississippi in 1954, Oprah's life began far from fame, luxury, or privilege. She grew up wearing dresses made from potato sacks, facing poverty so deep that most would have surrendered to despair. Yet, from the very beginning, she carried something far more valuable than wealth: an unshakable belief in herself. As a young girl, Oprah endured abuse, neglect, and unimaginable pain. But she didn't let her past define her. Instead, she turned it into her power. Where others saw tragedy, she saw lessons. Where others saw limitations, she saw opportunity. In her words, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." That became the philosophy of her life. And it changed everything. At just 19, Oprah became the first black female news anchor in Nashville. It was a breakthrough, but not without battles. She was told she was too emotional for television, too different to succeed. But what they called too emotional, the world later recognized as authenticity. When Oprah moved to Chicago to host a small morning talk show, no one expected much. But in just a few months, that show, AM Chicago, became the highest-rated talk show in the city. And from there, the Oprah Winfrey Show was born, not as a show about celebrities, but about people, about stories. About truth, Oprah didn't just interview guests, she connected with souls. She gave voice to the unheard, comfort to the broken, and courage to the fearful. Her empathy became her superpower. But her rise was not only about fame, it was about purpose. She used her influence to start schools, fund scholarships, and empower women across the world. Her Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa became a symbol of what happens when one woman decides to lift others as she rises. Still, the magic of Oprah Winfrey lies not just in her success, but in her message. She teaches us that success without service means nothing. She reminds us that gratitude is the foundation of greatness. She once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. And that dream begins the moment you stop waiting for someone else to believe in you and start believing in yourself." Look at her journey. From a little girl reading Bible verses in a poor Mississippi church to a global icon known simply as Oprah. That's not luck. That's faith, courage, and relentless self-belief. So, what can we learn from Oprah Winfrey? We learn that the road to success is never easy, but it's worth it. We learn that every hardship is a lesson in disguise. And we learn that the voice inside you, the one that whispers, "Keep going," is the most powerful force in the world. Oprah turned pain into purpose, and now she helps millions do the same. Her life reminds us that no matter how broken your past is, your future can still shine brighter than you ever imagined. Because in the end, success is not about where you come from. It's about who you choose to become, ladies and gentlemen. When we speak about greatness, we often think of wealth, fame, and recognition. But true greatness is not measured by what we have. It is measured by what we give. And few people embody that truth more deeply than Oprah Winfrey. After conquering television, Oprah could have stopped. She could have celebrated her success and lived in comfort. But that was never her purpose. For her, success was never the destination. It was the beginning of service. She often says, "To move forward, you have to give back." And that is exactly what she did. Through the Oprah Winfrey Foundation and the Oprah Winfrey Operating Foundation, she has donated hundreds of millions of dollars to education, empowerment, and humanitarian causes. But what makes her impact special is not just the money. It's the meaning behind it. In 2007, Oprah opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. It wasn't just a school. It was a dream turned into reality. She believed that educating young girls from poor backgrounds could transform entire generations. She said, "These girls are my legacy. Through them, I see a better world." That belief, that one act of kindness can ripple across the globe, defines Oprah's leadership. She leads not with authority, but with empathy. She listens, she understands, and she inspires others to rise. Her leadership style is rooted in one simple truth. You cannot lead others unless you know who you are. And that's where her magic lies, self-awareness. Oprah teaches us that leadership begins with inner work. Before you can inspire others, you must understand your own values, your own purpose, and your own voice. That's why she built her career not around power, but around authenticity. In a world obsessed with image, she showed us that vulnerability is strength. That real connection comes from honesty. And that love, not fear, is the true foundation of success. But Oprah's journey wasn't without criticism or failure. She faced betrayal, public judgment, and emotional exhaustion. Yet every time life tried to break her, she came back stronger. Her resilience wasn't born from perfection. It was born from faith. She believes that the universe responds to intention, that when your heart is pure and your purpose is clear, opportunities align with destiny. She once